Hello everybody and welcome to Off the Rack. I'm Sal.
And I'm Tiffany.
The comic book discussion series where we take a comic book and break it down by its art and writing, and then tell you what we thought about it. Robin War number 1 is Civil War with Robins in it. Tiffany, what'd you think of Robin War number 1?
I don't know. I mean, I think it brought up a lot of interesting points. Things that you'd have to question about a city like Gotham having children running around in, cape and costume.
Fair enough.
But I don't know how I really felt about it afterwards, honestly. Like, it was just... There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot happening, kind of.
I kind of liked the grandiose nature of a Robin-centric event. I thought that was kind of a neat idea, and I like that they cut a lot of the ramping up. Like, they cut out all the politics of it.
Yeah, they were pulling things in from everywhere.
They really were, yeah.
We got all the Robins, they pulled in Bat Gordon, and...
Yeah.
Like, they got it all.
Yeah, they really didn't waste a second.
No, and we got a bad guy that I haven't seen in a while, but I have been reading much of the Bat Family books. So, I was like, oh, okay. Right.
Yeah, no, the central bad guy is really cool, and it's, very fan favorite, and I'm excited to see how that is influenced as well. So we can't talk about this book and its grandiose nature and all the different elements without talking about all the different writers and artists that worked on this.
Yeah, wow. Their art was really all over the place. Sometimes it was really great.
Yes.
And sometimes I was like, what is wrong with everything? There is a panel later on that, I think it's Red Robin.
Yeah.
Is standing, and he's standing there, and his upper body is doing one thing, and he looks like he's the upper body of him, and his lower body is clearly wearing his costume, but it looks like it's too small for his upper body, and it's just really weird.
Right.
It's just really weird and stiff in places. And other times it's great.
Yeah.
But when you take art that's pretty good, or great, and you put it next to art that's
okay,
it really amps up the...
Well, it makes it go from passable to not.
Yeah.
Because there were definitely moments, and I think we're thinking of the same artist, where we went through a story and things are ramping up, and then they just put the brakes on it.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't look at the credits until after I read it, and number one, I was very aware of the different art shifts, but with respect to the writing, I was more subconsciously aware of the writing shifts. It felt like one contiguous story, but there were moments where I went, this is a little not strong. Or this lost its footing a little bit here, or this felt like a different book entirely here.
I noticed that they had a credit for a script.
Yes.
So clearly, that's why the story isn't jumping all over the place so much. I mean, it is in a way, because there's just so many things brought into it.
Well, I wanted to say that it feels disjointed, but it doesn't. It actually feels like a cohesive, contiguous story. It's just that there were clearly pieces in it. It's not one part, it's not one whole. It's all many parts that eventually, you put together.
Yeah.
It's like a turducken. You just have many different layers and at the end of the day, it's kind of interesting, but it's also a little gross.
Yeah, do you really want that?
Do you, are you eating it for shock value, or do you legitimately want that?
Are you eating it to say that you ate it?
Yeah. I like the setup, and I like the concept, and I'm willing to give it another shot. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I would. I like the big bad in this, or the underlying big bad.
Yes.
Because there's layers to that too.
Mm-hmm.
I really like 2 layers, but still, I like that a lot. I thought it was interesting that they brought Bat Gordon into this.
Yes.
And
and then dispatched him just as quickly.
Oh yeah, no, it's just whatever. But you have to if you're gonna have a story, but that's right, they don't really have continuity anymore. Right?
Yeah, so it could be its own continuity. I think it's not. I think it's deliberately...
Right, but that's what's interesting. They didn't have to bring him in.
No.
But
whether they wanted to.
But they're basing the story off of Batman being gone.
Yes.
So I guess they have to address that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's spoilers or not, but I really could have done without Damian, and I don't really have any
feelings one way or the other strongly.
I don't really have a lot of exposure to him.
Oh, it's true.
So this I was like, I don't care, and you've been on the page for maybe 3 panels, and already I'm like, could you go the hell away?
That's funny. I feel that way all the time about Damian. In this book, I was actually kind of on his side.
Really? Because to me, initially it felt like he was speaking for the fans who were this is not my Gotham.
Yes.
But then he just got annoying afterwards. And that's not to say that the fans are like that.
No, that's how Damian
I felt
is.
like he shifted. It started off being a statement, and then the writer just stopped making the statement.
Yeah, it was anyway.
But anyway, now it's just he's a kid.
Right.
Whatever. He's just an annoying little kid.
Yeah, he is at that.
And that's that gets under my skin.
No, it's true.
Like he's ineffective.
The funny thing is, for me, like, Damian works in certain ways, and in this one, he definitely is... I like what they're doing with him, and I like the direction they're taking him, but, you know, he's still Damian at the end of the day. And so he's still going to annoy the hell out of me.
Right,
But there are moments where I go, like, oh... It's a little bit like Batman's relationship with Damian, where it's like... You know, when he first gets him, and he's this assassin, and he's like, what am I going to do with this kid? And then there are a couple of moments where he's just like, oh, you know, this kid's got promise.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's fun to see all the Robins working together. It's interesting that we have no female Robins.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get some out of this event, but...
Yeah, well, I mean, like,
Although the image behind me implies we're going to get a civil war of Robins.
Yeah, and like there's a couple chicks back way
in the back. Would you recommend it? Would you want to read issue 2?
You know what? Yes, but more out of curiosity than anything else. Like I'm like, all right, where are we going with this?
Yeah, I feel similarly. I kind of want. I definitely want to read issue 2, but I'm not all in. No. I'm not going to read all the tie-ins and everything. I just want to read this series. Maybe. And by issue 2, we'll see. But it doesn't matter what we think. Let us know what you think in the comment section down below. Did you like Robin War #1? Were you on the fence? Are you thinking about buying it? If you are, and you want to get the digital version, you can go in the description box below this video and click the link. It's got it right there. You can pick it up on Comixology. Why not? We always make it as easy as possible for you to pick up a comic.
That's right. Like, so if you're interested, go for it.
Right? Why not? Take the plunge. And we'll see you guys next time with another episode of Off the Rack. I am Sal.
I'm Tiffany.